however it may be. Hopefully everybody is safe and get ready for a good one. We know the UC Davis Aggies are getting ready for a postseason run, and their head coach, Tim Plough, joining us each and every Wednesday. Coach, how are you?
Good morning, Jason. Some guys have to work and some guys take days off, I guess, around here.
No days off, Coach.
Yeah, no days off. Jeez.
Got to appreciate the grind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. First and foremost, Coach, Thanksgiving plans. I know you're glad you still have football to worry about, but team-wise, how's that going tomorrow for you and the team?
Well, we are really thankful that we played well enough to earn the bye, and we talked to our team last week about what winning could lead us to. So I think a lot of our guys are going to be able to go home today and be with their families on Thanksgiving, which is great. And then for the few guys that can't, they'll be able to have Thanksgiving with our staff and be with their football family. So we got everyone somewhere to go, which is good.
Are you much of a cook? Do you participate? How are you on Thanksgiving?
I would love to give it a shot, but I also, happy wife, happy life. And we go to my in-laws every year for Thanksgiving. And that's probably not changing anytime soon, Jason.
Yeah.
Got to keep the lady happy. So
that's right.
I would love to try to cook at Thanksgiving, but that's not on the docket right now.
Well, somebody's got to, enjoy the food. So everybody plays their role, right?
That's all I do. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Well, Coach, before we look ahead, I do want to look back. It turned out to be a classic of a Causeway. The Hornets put up quite a fight. They made you guys work for that. Would love your overall assessment of, just kind of how you guys were able to fight through that one when you had a couple of 2-score leads multiple times in the game, but they took you guys all the way to the end.
Yeah, I think, first off, just the resiliency of our team and what they've shown all year is that they will find a way to win, and they will find a way to get it done, which is, I just think, an amazing trait, and the players deserve all the praise for that. But then also just, not surprised at all at how hard Sac State played and how great of a game it was, because that's just been kind of the way that rivalry has been for a long time, and they played tremendous, especially their quarterback and wide receivers, and so it was a great football game to be a part of for sure. And I hope that for a long time we got a bunch of games like that every year.
Yeah, I mean, it truly was a great game, and I know for weeks we've talked to you about Lan Lariosn, and I've seen him play in person and on TV and different things, but to watch him again. It was like he had already made his impact on the game. He had a couple of great catches, some good runs, but really hadn't totally had his imprint yet. Then he has the back-breaking touchdown, and, of course, when you need to recover an onside kick, there he was. I mean, he is so valuable to your team. You see him every week, but, Coach, sometimes maybe others need to be reminded, but I don't know why, but just how special of a player you have in Lan Lariosn.
Yeah, I just there's not much more I can say. I mean, I know there's kind of a campaign going on right now on our end to try to get him the Walter Payton Award, but I don't. There's not a better player in the country. It really isn't. It really isn't debatable. I guess it's not frustrating, but that's why I hope that the committees or whatever people that vote for stuff, they look at things, from just a factual base. There's only one player in all of football at all levels that has more yards than Lan Lariosn, and it's Ashton Junty at Boise, who's got 30 more yards than him, and that guy's up for the Heisman. So I don't think it's any debate who the best player at our level is. The guy's got 2,100 yards. He also made a tackle on punt. He also, his first kick return of the year, he goes 35 yards, then he recovers the onside kick. I mean, and the one punt return they got, that was a really good one. We looked at his staff, and I was like, hey, Lan's not on the field. So he does everything for us, and I think that's what makes him the best player. And he's also just got a tremendous drive to be great. And that's what great leaders have. That's why his teammates, I think, play as hard as they play. They see him playing as hard as he does.
Yeah, and you have used him all year. I mean, he's thrown passes. His reception total has gone up dramatically from a year ago. And just knowing that he can handle all the roles for you guys. I mean, just makes him, especially I imagine if you're now, whether it was Andy Thompson last week, the teams you're going to play going forward, anybody you've already played, trying to scout and game plan against him, knowing that he can throw, catch, run, block, kick return. I mean, I don't know how you scout for him.
Yeah, in 2017, 2018, we had Keelan Doss, who was an NFL receiver, and we threw him 230 receptions over 2 years. But it's hard sometimes to get a receiver the ball because they can double him, they can find different coverages to roll towards him. Sam Batu got off to a great start against Sac State, and then they started rolling coverage to him, and it was tough to get the ball the rest of the game, and someone else had to get open. When you're getting the ball to a running back, the nice thing is you can get the ball to him in a lot of ways. You can line him up in so many spots, or you can just turn around and hand it to him. So there's when you have a great running back, it is harder for defenses to limit him if he's a great receiver because you can get the ball to him in so many ways. And when we first got here, we tried to see what Lan was capable of and quickly realized that, there's really no limitations on what we can do with him. And that makes it really fun every week as a coach to try to come up with new, cool ways to get him the ball. Because really the goal is, let's just give him the ball in a situation where he's one-on-one with somebody. And when that's the case, he usually wins.
Yeah, for sure. So now I know Sunday, I think you guys had your end of season banquet. You get to watch the selection show. That's got to be rewarding. Knowing you're in, you just want to see your fate. And so when it's laid out, you got the bye. That's good news. You're the 5 seed. I think it's always careful what you wish for, but do you like kind of the setup, like the draw that you have, at least at the beginning?
I do like the draw. I think the things I like are that the 2 teams that we could play are not Big Sky teams. Mm-hmm. And that's what I really wanted because, man, the fun part of the tournament is you get to play teams that you don't usually play. And so I was really fired up that whoever we play is going to be someone we've never played before. And that's awesome. That's fun. And then obviously we get to play at home after a bye, which is great. And then the other cool part is, if we're lucky enough to win and get to the quarterfinal or the next round, then we get to play in a dome on the road, which, I know we're a tough team, Jason, but we're still a California team. And if I can avoid going to play outdoors in South Dakota in December, I would sure love to play in a dome. So I think a lot of things work in our favor there. And hopefully at the end of the day, every team you're going to play is really good and every team you're going to play could beat you. So no one's looking ahead, but I do think there's some things that could line up for us if we play our best football, which is great.
Yeah, this is unique. Obviously, when you have a season, like if you had a bye, equivalent of a bye, you're playing Cal Poly, Portland State, right, Montana next. Like that's easier to lock in. You're either playing Illinois State or Southeast Missouri State. You got to wait for the results. So what's the kind of lead up to next week? I mean, before the results of their game to find out who you're playing, how much pre-scouting are you doing on those teams? Or are you just kind of waiting for the outcome of that game?
We're actually trying to have some fun as a staff. So we're splitting the opponents in half. So half the staff is preparing for Illinois State. Half the staff is preparing for SEMO. And both staffs are putting together their own game plans. And, so we bought some shirts. So we're going to have half the staff is rooting for SEMO and half the staff is rooting for Illinois State. We're going to watch the game Saturday morning with all of our families. And we'll have preliminary game plans ready for both teams so that Saturday when the game is over, our staff will be in here late Saturday night and finalize all the game plan, installation stuff. And then players come back Sunday night and we'll be able to have everything ready for them. So we've had a lot of fun with that. And then at practice this week, today's our last practice this week. It's with no opponents, just more about us competing with each other. And I got to say, yesterday's practice was one of the more competitive practices we've had all year because it was just offense against defense, competing on special teams against each other and getting back to kind of our roots, which is just we want to compete every day. And it doesn't matter who we're playing, but I know our guys had a lot of fun yesterday. We got a lot of guys a chance to get in there and play. And so I really was happy with how everyone's attitude was, because it can be easy for guys to not really come out ready to go, but they did. So I was thrilled with that. Got one more great practice today before guys take off for the break.
Well, you like to pit guys against one another and pick sides and make them choose. What was the fight last week to prep everyone for the Causeway?
Well, it was tough. I wanted to show Muhammad Ali versus Ernie Terrell from 1967, which was the What's My Name fight. But I couldn't really get a lot of good footage on that. It's an older fight. So I ended up showing Shane Mosley, Antonio Margarito, which was the fight where famously he got caught wrapping his hands with plaster. And you found out that Margarito had basically been fighting with loaded gloves his whole career. And that was kind of the message of, hey, these Hornets, they're gonna try to have loaded gloves tomorrow, but we gotta, don't worry, we're gonna catch them in the dressing room, and then we gotta come out with confidence and throw some bombs like Sugar Shane.
Well, I think your message was received, and the Hornets did do that. They were right there, but you guys responded, have had a great regular season. Now it's off to the postseason. We look forward to talking to you again next week. We'll know who you're playing then, and we'll get everybody prepped for that home game for you guys. Coach, thank you so much. Congrats on a great season, more season to go, and I hope you and your family have a great Thanksgiving.
I appreciate that. I just, thankful for you guys and everyone there for, giving UC Davis a platform every week to try to get people involved and some knowledge with our team. So I just thankful for you guys. Hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving and find some joy. And tell Dave that I'm just disappointed, man. Like, most people work hard, and he just seems to just take days off left and right.
Yeah.
And he just, come on.
He needs to know that the disappointment that you feel. I will definitely pass that on, Coach. That's for sure.
Okay, good. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
All right. Take care. That is Coach Tim Plough, the head coach of your UC Davis Aggies. Yeah, bye week. They've earned it. They will watch to see who they will play next week in their first round, which will be